Hi, this is Marcus de Maria here, and also we have
Dennis.
And we are looking at the weekly trading charts. So, what are we looking at here? Oh, it looks like a short.
Yes, we're looking at a short position, which means that we make money as the market comes down instead.
By the way, when you're trading, not when you're investing, but when you're trading, you have to make money when markets go down. Otherwise, you're relying on just one market movement out of three. And that's not a very good ratio. Can you imagine? You've got three chances of making money, but you can only make one once. But the other two, you're losing money. This doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so that's worse than 50-50.
All three.
Exactly. Because that's worse than 50-50. Like, you make one, you lose, and that's 50-50. But if you lose twice, you just can't do that. So we're doing this thing called selling short, which confuses most people, so don't worry if it confuses you. But then, yeah.
Yeah, so what we're looking now, so we will obviously review this next week as well and see what happened, but it's all about probability. So this tells us that we have a couple of bounces, and then now it's at this resistance. So hopefully it has a hard time to break through that, and if sellers come back in, we're looking for this to come back down to our goal, which would be around down here.
Are you really going to wait till down here? What about all of this up here? You got boing, 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 boing. I would be looking to get out around here, or at least move my stop loss down to around here. If it carries on going down, great, but I'm not expecting that.
No, absolutely. We will absolutely move our stop loss as it goes down. So when we're up 1%, 2%, then we move the stop loss a bit.
Yeah, okay. That's fine, but especially around here, I would definitely move it. I'd be quite aggressive in moving it down.
Because the good thing with this trade is that we have a really good risk-reward ratio. So even though it goes down here, which I would expect it to do, we still have a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, which really means that for every dollar I'm risking, I can make 3. Which is the minimum we're looking for in our set of criteria.
So basically, if it goes up here now, which it might do, right? I mean, it totally might do. And this is interesting because, somebody who's watching this, they kind of say, yeah, but what if it doesn't go down? What if it goes up? And then it says, I don't want to get into trading. Yes, it could go up, but you're only losing a very small amount because we have something called a stop loss here. But if it goes down, you're risking this in order to make 1, 2, 3, where you can see it here actually 3 times, and Dennis was actually saying even more. So actually it was 6 times. That's what he's really going for, but at least 3. Well, if you keep doing that, risk 1 to make 3, 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 you're going to do really well.
Yeah, and last week we actually have clients who are up 20% now.
Okay. What do you mean on their account?
On their entire portfolio, because we showed this.
Who's that? Who's up?
This is Leroy.
Leroy, we like Leroy, yeah.
Yes,
and he was struggling. Leroy was struggling to get these concepts because some people, it's just such a new language, But if you keep going, boom, comes the breakthrough. Like anything, like riding a bike, driving a car, you name it.
So now he has a couple of these at the same time.
Now we saw this. We saw this last week. Yeah.
Exactly. But just to make the point that this went up 6-to-1. So, and even more depending on the entry price. So.
Do you understand what that means? Yeah. You are risking £1 to make 6. You're risking £10 to make 60. You're risking £100 to make 600. You're risking £1,000 to make 6,000. It starts getting interesting now. You're risking 10,000 to make
60,000, and this is one trade. Imagine, and look, here's another one, right? So this is another one that he is in from the weekly list that we send out. We send out a list with these type of stocks every week. Now, yeah, that's true. We won't win on everything, but if we have a couple of these that goes up 6-to-1, 7-to-1, 8-to-1 even, that's what's going to make the difference.
This is a good one actually, because this is going up like this, and then you've got that resistance there. I would expect that to be broken at some stage. So to get in here and then and even make more than we think by cleverly raising the stop loss, if it breaks up, then you could even keep following it up. This is very strong. This is a very strong pattern.
It is, and I love when it breaks out from old resistance, because then it has a very high probability to go even higher. So this could be easily a 12-to-1 or something like that.
Now, why is Dennis saying that? Because it hasn't been there before. So there is no boing, boing, as you can see, this kind of resistance here. Doing, 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 doing. You expected the doing going back down, right? but the technical term.
Yeah,
technical
obviously.
Term. But as it breaks out, there is nothing above it. This could go. Once it breaks out, everybody's going to jump in, and all you do is just make money. And we just keep raising our stop loss. It actually is so simple once, but I guess everything seems simple once you practice. But that's all it is. It's just practice.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it doesn't take much time at all. You do a little bit of analysis.
Every single one of these is one day.
Yeah, every candle.
So
what are you gonna? There's nothing to do when it goes up. Now I move my stop loss a little bit, but it's like a few minutes a day.
yeah, this isn't like during the day it does. This is the end of the day. Now you could use it. You could look at patterns like this, what they call intraday, and you could be trading. But that's not what life is about. Life isn't about like looking at a computer screen and trading for 8 hours a day.
But if you can make a yearly salary from spending maybe 20 minutes a day, additionally to everything else you're doing, might be enhancing your life. So that's what we're all about.
Might be enhancing your life.
Well, it depends.
Could it not?
Yeah,
Are you kidding
if
me?
it's a monk.
For 20 minutes a day? A monk. Why would a monk have? Imagine a monk in his car, but just quickly. Actually, I did meet somebody who does Reiki on their stocks.
Oh, really?
I don't know whether that works, but I did meet
Maybe
somebody.
it does.
He says it does.
Yeah, of course.
But I was like, show me your account. You know.
Yeah, but it's definitely.
Show us some more. So what else do
Some
we
more?
have? Yeah.
All right, so we have. This is another one that we're in as well. So there's a lot of them we're in at
You're
the
in
moment.
this one.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you shorted at that point there.
Yes, I did short this exactly. So now we're looking for this to go even lower.
That's really perfect, and that's very nice. And I tell you what's really nice about this: you've got some really nice swings. You've got some really great percentage points here.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing you're looking at around the 7,000 or so securities that we could invest in. We're only looking for about 6 at any one time. And so these are the ones we're looking at. We don't just go randomly into any stock just because you go to Shell Garage or Texaco or what. That's not why you go into a stock, or you bought a Ford, therefore you buy a Ford. You basically, you've got to have a strategy, basically.
Yeah. You got a strategy, and so far this year we haven't lost any trades actually, which is interesting. So we are 100% so far, but it's only been 20.
It's only been three weeks, but
But it's interesting, right? So you will have good momentum as well as you will have a couple of weeks when you only be losing. It's normal. It's all about probability.
But overall, you have to be winning.
Yes, of course, and we have started off.
So how are you doing with this? What's happening here? Where are you looking for it to go to? This has got legs. This is going to go down a lot.
Yeah, I think so, because what I do like with this is that we have seen it's creating lower highs, and also we're creating lower lows. So I'm a little bit cautious about this area. So I'm kind of looking.
But it's already like it's like there was here, but here this is the bit that it's kind of remembering. Now, if it can break below that, it could go down quite a bit. Where are you thinking to?
I'm thinking to this level.
That's great. Imagine if you. So you're risking this much. No, hold on. This much in order to make 1, 2, 3, 3.5.
Yeah, a little bit more even potentially.
Pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah, this is a perfect buffalo.
And what I love in shorting, of course, is that stocks generally tend to go down faster than they tend to go up. Although this one goes up quite fast as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This is a nice one. Do you have any more?
I do. We can actually, and this is something.
Energy. Weird name, right?
So we have created a list for all of these, right? Let's see. I think we have a couple. We have a lot of. So we are watching stocks every week, right? So to wait for the ones to come down.
Okay. So while you're watching for that, right? So my mentor is looking at IBM at the moment. Not to get in immediately. You look at the pattern and you wait for it to come down, because they're really big on nanotechnology. And they have so many patents filed. It is insane. They have like double the amount of patents that anybody else has, and like thousands. We're talking about thousands. And so what that means basically is that if somebody tries to do something, they might let them, but they have to pay royalties. And IBM, International Business Machine, as you know, of course, is the original blue chip, right, in the 70s and 80s. So. It's still going very, very strong. So we can have a look at IBM in a moment. But so that's more for investing. This is more for trading.
This is another one we have been in since the beginning of the year as well. A perfect pattern. We see that it's creating higher highs and lower highs. So we enter when it came down there. And
dude, I don't think people want to hear about what we've done. I think they want to hear about, like, what are we about to do? right?
Yeah.
It's nice, you know, the profits for you, but it's not nice for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything
fine.
we're looking at?
This
And
one.
then because then next week we can say, did it do it? Did it not? You know?
Exactly. Yeah. That's a very good point. Obviously. So this one was one we were looking at. Now,
Aha.
yesterday we were looking for the earnings, right?
Yes.
So the earnings happened yesterday.
But we're still in play, right? So if
Still in play.
okay, still in play. So but just a little bit below, it's going to take us out, and then it's going to go shooting back. So what were the earnings like? Not good.
Well, we haven't gotten the announcements on here yet. We could go to Finviz and take a look, but we don't have it on there. So
What is? Can I ask what go on there again? Well, what is slut? Why?
It's no. This is actually for some reason now in
one
Swedish.
knows.
It means the period, the end of the period, which is December 2019.
Slut is period. No,
Yes.
end.
End in
End.
Swedish.
Slut.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, very likely. Yeah, so we, yes, exactly. So this is still in play. We have a really nice upward trend here as well. We'll see what happens during the coming week on this.
So hold on, are you in or not?
No, not in this.
Right, because it didn't yet go up, or
too
because
close
it was
to
too close to earnings? That's another rule that we have on the Buffalo, which is if you're about to get into something, but it's closer than 2 weeks before an earnings announcement, what tends to happen is there's a lot of rumors circulating on the different boards on the internet, and that people can read into that, and it will move the market price in a way that it really shouldn't. So we tend to stay away. But 1 week later, or even a few days later, actually 3 days later, all the news is in, because it'll be real news, right? So that's coming out pretty soon. So let's watch that one there. Let's have a quick look at IBM, and then we'll finish the video. So this is one more for investing, right? Using the VCA strategy rather than the... Oh, you've been looking at this. Oh,
Yes, I have been looking.
but more for trading.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been like, I would have done well. Although the percentages aren't quite good
No,
enough.
so I didn't enter, and I don't like that we had kind of a triangle forming, right? You see that it's kind of have a downward trend, but now it broke past that. So.
So I need this to go way down before I get into here. So let's say something like, let's say you subscribe to something like a tip sheet or a... First of all, I probably wouldn't do that unless... the reason I'm saying that is because what most people do is they get the tip sheet and then they buy it based on the recommendation. But they don't even know why they're doing it. Whereas I would do that, but then I would research it myself, and I'm already ahead because they've done the research, but then I would apply my strategy to it. It's just so cool. And that works really, really well. So for example, with IBM, what is this you're showing now? Wow. I was about to say, look, IBM, Microsoft, all of these companies, when they had their heyday, they were like that, okay? But then what happens, it becomes a bit of a commodity, it's like everybody knows. And as you can see, it kind of goes into this kind of, sideways pattern for years and years and years because, there's nothing new. It's solid, makes money, but it's not exciting. So this is a great one to be investing in when it comes down. It needs to come down some more. This was a great opportunity in 2019 to get in to IBM. You could have made 20, 30% easily over a year or so because it's a no-brainer when something as solid as that. Imagine an entire market going down by 20, 30%. You pile in, right? While everybody else is scared, you pile in, I hope. And it's exactly the same with IBM. Very, very solid, making billions. But because of that, everybody knows it's solid and making billions. It doesn't tend to move a lot. But now and again, when you get big movements, it is a good time to come in. So I'm going to wait for it to come down. I'm not going to get in just because somebody says so. Even if it's my mentor, I need to get in at a certain price. Why? Because I need to have that confidence that I'm going to make money so that I follow the strategy.
It's so interesting because you say small movements, but this is like 40%, right? So
That's
now it's
small,
up 40%.
man. That's small.
Yeah, it's like 40-50%. So it's quite a big move.
That's a normal move for a stock. That's an absolute normal. Over a year. Don't forget, this is a year. This is a whole year.
Yeah,
that's totally normal.
Yeah,
it's totally
exactly.
normal. And what is also normal in a stock that it goes, within a year it's at a certain price, and a year later it's at the same price. And that's what people do. I really hope it's not you, but they say, oh, it doesn't move, and it doesn't move. If you would have come in using the VCA, you would have cleaned up there, by the way, as you know. Look at this, as Dennis says, almost or more than 40% move. But not if you only look at it once a year. Don't do that. Look at it every day, just for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll make so much money. It's so simple. It's not easy. You have to learn what to do, but it's so simple. If people would just, well, I say people, I think about our graduates and the amount of money they're making, but people generally, people out there are just scared of the stock market because the people in the city don't want you to know how simple it is, and they fearmonger a lot and tell you, you're too stupid, give me your money, you're too stupid, give me your money. So you give them your money. Who are these people? You've never met them before. Who are they? Where do they live? Do they have families? I mean, take control, right? Which is what we're doing here.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, that was a bit of a lecture. We didn't want that really. So hope you enjoyed that, and remember to always invest with passion and profit, and
of course subscribe as well if
ding.
you like what you see.
Ding,
Let's
ding.
see more of it.
Absolutely.
Is that ding ding? That's the
Well, actually, doing ding ding would have subscribed then unsubscribed. So it's probably just ding once.
very cool.
See you next time.